Well, it is every bit of pleasure, more than just a little bit of a pleasure, to kind of bring in for a landing what we've been covering over the last 5 weeks. And what we've been talking about, for the most part, is primary foods, those things that fill our soul and they satisfy our hunger for life. We hunger and thirst, we crave for so many things under the sun. There are only a few things that really satisfy us. And we talked about many of those things. There are more things that satisfy us than we've discussed, but these are core. These are core to our spirits, they're core to our being, they're core to our minds. So many of you know me as Kirk Hitzens. I'm a health coach. I love what I'm doing. I was drafted into this. My life experience led me into my current vocation. And I will do this in some form or fashion all the days of my life.
Dark green vegetables.
Dark green vegetables, okay. Any other good ones? Fruit. Fruit? Okay. Anybody know what this is right here?
Turnip.
See that?
What
What is
is it?
it? It is a turnip. What's it doing? All right. So it must still have some energy in it.
Yeah.
Okay? So it might be a good idea to eat a turnip or two. If you want to grab some energy out of some food. Now you might like turnips, you might not like turnips.
I love turnips.
But there's a lot of ways to cook turnips. You can change the flavor of them if you don't like them. They got a little bit of a bite. Yeah. I'll give you a story. I went to my uncle's funeral. It was in October. They had it in the evening. And so when it was over, it was like 9:30 or 10, it was time to eat. And all it was like Burger King, KFC, and I'm like, I ain't feeling that. So we went to the supermarket, and I bought a turnip, I bought an apple, a Honey Crisp apple, one of my favorite. And I bought some healthy chips and something to drink. I think I bought some dark chocolate almond milk. And I ate the turnip like an apple. And it was a 3.5 hour drive back, and I felt alive. I felt alive. So, it might not be a bad idea to eat turnips. Now in here, there are also some things that are alive in here. There's actually, and I've got it over here too. Who can tell me what this is?
Yeah.
See that? Here, pass that back over here. Yeah.
You keep it in the rice to make it grow?
No, I just put it in there to carry it over here. It was just sitting in the refrigerator. So, what's happening with this? It's sprouting. So, I would tend to say that's an energy food. It still has energy in it because it's still growing. There are foods that we eat that don't have energy in it. But I recommend on a daily basis that we find some food and eat every day that will continue to grow if we're not eating it at that moment. If you do that, you'll have more energy than if you didn't do that, because you're taking in energy. Okay? So that plays a big part in how we do it. Okay? So here's some more energy food. Anybody know what these are? Who said that? Yeah. What are they doing? Right. Chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Yeah. Just pass that back so you can see.
You show me everything I don't like.
Yeah?
Well, I like
Hear it properly.
It's a texture thing. Bites too strong for me.
Right.
Yeah. That's how you prepare it.
That's how you prepare. So if you cook it and you add some spices, you can change the whole flavor of it. If you go to my website, there's a blog on there. I forget what the name of it was, but it was called How to Make Healthy Food Taste Good with Spices, something like that. So there's a way to use spices for that. So the food you eat affects how you feel. In here, and I didn't start this soon enough, I actually started the chickpeas on Monday. I just put them in water, soaked them, then drained the water off. End of the day, I soaked them again, and drained the water off, and just set them on the countertop. And you know, in 4 days, they started sprouting. If I continue to do that, there'll be all kind of tails on them beans. It's an energy food. Yeah. So, if you go to a supermarket, you can find hundreds of foods that would continue to grow. So it don't have to be a turnip. I started the brown rice. Brown rice takes a little longer. But the rice is starting to sprout a little bit. If you look close enough, you can see the brown rice is starting to sprout. Okay? Yeah. Look close enough, you'll see it sprouting in there. Little hair ends coming off.
Carrots are sprout too.
Carrots are sprout?
White rice.
So what, you rinse
That's
it?
what I was going to ask. Okay.
Rinse
Say
it and
that.
drain it too?
Yeah, rinse it and
I
drain it.
said white rice won't sprout.
No.
White rice won't sprout.
No, why?
Why won't it sprout?
It's dead.
It's
Dead.
It's totally stripped. Yeah. So I was so happy when P.F. Chang's brought brown rice to town. You know, so I can go to P.F. Chang's and have some rice and have a good time, have a nice meal. So a place to be.
brown rice now too.
Say it again?
Chipotle has brown
That's what I
rice
understood.
Yeah.
Oh,
They just started that a month ago.
They must have just
now. They did.
So I strongly recommend on a regular basis that you find out what foods are still alive and eat them. And it's really not that hard because the selection is so broad and so wide. And you deserve to have energy. You have things to do. You have things that you need to accomplish. You got places to go, people to see. And you need energy for that. And there are foods that give you that. It's intended to give you that. Any questions?